Hello, folks, and welcome back to Dried Watermelon. Here we have another departure from the novel. It's the Army of the Dead. Many people ask why didn't Aragorn actually just keep them until the end of the last battle? But really, he's too noble for that, right? He's criticizing the Oathbreakers for not fulfilling their oath. He would be too much of a hypocrite if he broke his own oath. So he can't do that. In the army, they don't actually even join the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. They just help fight the Corsairs and prevent reinforcements from coming and so on. So they don't go to the Battle of Pelennor Fields and sweep over the armies. It's just a battle between the free armies, well, really the humans, plus Gandalf and the hobbits as well, against the forces of evil. The Ghost Army is not even clear if they can actually physically fight. It's more like they can just strike fear into people as well. So this is a significant departure. Another major departure is a scene with the mouth of Sauron, where a lieutenant, or sorry, for you non-British English people, a lieutenant of Sauron, essentially, right? And he is an ambassador. And so there are these rules of parley and that ambassador should be following, including not threatening. They're just there to deliver a message, essentially. But really, here, this is, I don't know, I kind of had a problem with this one. I don't love how they depict Aragorn's character. I don't think he should have decapitated the mouth of Sauron. It is kind of cool, it's kind of fun. But in the books, it's really clear what they do. There's this battle between their minds. So this is from Return of the King. The mouth of Sauron asks, "Is there anyone in this rout with authority to treat with me?" he asked, "or indeed with wit to understand me?" "Not thou, at least," he mocked, turning to Aragorn with scorn. "It needs more to make a king than a piece of elvish glass, or a rabble such as this. Why, any brigand of the hills can show as good a following." Aragorn said naught in answer, but he took the other's eye and held it, and for a moment they strove thus. But soon, though Aragorn did not stir nor move hand to weapon, the other quailed and gave back as if menaced with a blow. "I am a herald and ambassador, and may not be assailed," he cried. "Where such laws hold," said Gandalf. "It is also the custom for ambassadors to use less insolence. But no one has threatened you. Ye have naught to fear from us until your errand is done. But unless your master has come to new wisdom, and with all his servants you will be in great peril." So there is this mental striving, right? Aragorn even looks upon the Palantir earlier and mentally strives to wrest control of the Palantir with Sauron himself. So this mouth of Sauron, this lieutenant, has no chance against Aragorn. And that itself is like a mental blow, right? Have you ever seen the movie Hero with Jet Li in it? They're fighting in their minds, right? That's where the battle is happening, and they show this great martial arts scene. It's kind of like that. Aragorn might be beheading him in his mind, but doesn't actually need to do that because Aragorn is actually that noble and that powerful already without having to use a sword. Anyways, another difference. At the parley as well with the mouth of Sauron, Merry is actually not supposed to be there. In the novels, he's still healing at the houses of healing. He's still recovering from fighting the Witch King himself. So he's not actually here at the parley. That's another important difference.
And who is this? Isildur's heir. It takes more to make a king than a broken elvish blade.
Guess that concludes negotiations.
I do not believe it. I will.
Here's another interesting change. After the Eagles go and rescue Sam and Frodo and take them back to safety, in the novel, Frodo actually wakes up and he's at Aragorn's camp in Ithilien, not in the houses of healing themselves. So he's actually in Aragorn's camp, and this is actually important because Aragorn doesn't actually want to declare himself as king yet. He just wants to declare himself essentially as a captain or as a leader, as a ranger, right? And so he's going to show respect, and he wants to make sure that he does it in time. And he's encouraged eventually by Prince Imrahil and others to go and declare himself and to show his banner. But at one point, he even furls his banner back up out of respect. He did this really, really carefully. So he sets up camp in Ithilien. And that's actually where Frodo heals and wakes up later. This is another kind of minor but interesting point. Time, of course, is compressed in the movies. We've already talked about this, where the hobbits actually take about 17 years to leave the Shire in the novels, as opposed to the movies where it doesn't suggest that passage of time. At Aragorn's crowning, at his wedding, and so on, all that stuff, it actually takes over 2 months, 2 months after the coronation itself, for the elves to show up with Arwen. But of course, here we're just trying to cut time because it is getting a little bit long for a normal movie. I'm so disappointed there's no Scouring the Shire. I think it's really, really important. I get why they didn't do it in terms of this kind of side quest, is how I think they thought it would be perceived. But I've already mentioned it. I think it's really important for bringing the story full circle to show that the hobbits themselves have grown in character, in stature, in ability, and that with elves leaving and with men doing their own things, that the hobbits can take care of themselves now, right? Because I like how the fellowship kind of gets smaller and smaller until it's only Gandalf and the 4 hobbits, and then Gandalf leaves them and says, "You don't need me anymore." And Gandalf knows what's there and what's happening at the Shire. He could have easily gone with them and taken care of it, but then they wouldn't be able to take care of themselves. So this way, the hobbits are strengthened, and they know, and you see how far they've come from the beginning, when they were, most of them were unsure what's out there in the wide world. So this is really, really important, and I'm disappointed that there's no Scouring the Shire. Last minor point here, but Celeborn actually doesn't leave with Galadriel, Gandalf, Elrond, Frodo, and Bilbo here for the Grey Havens and the Undying Lands. Instead, Celeborn remains in Rivendell, actually, with the grandsons Elladan and Elrohir, before leaving later on. So, not a big deal, but it is another departure. So, folks, thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the differences between the film and the book series as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave comments. Please like and subscribe. It really, really help out. And let me know if you like this kind of series. And I was thinking about maybe doing Narnia next, at least what's been produced so far. Even that classic BBC series with those big beavers. I love that one. Or maybe even the Harry Potter series. Or let me know if you have any other suggestions. Again, thanks so much for watching. I really, really appreciate your support. Take care.